How far does £10 get you in a London taxi? Will I get dizzy going around in this perpetual circle? This is so fun. Just realised we are screwed if a traffic warden wants to move us on. £19.60. London taxi meters work on a combination of time and distance. So to give us a fair representation for this challenge, we're going to do one journey where I sit entirely still, basically simulating the worst traffic where the taxi doesn't move, and assess how long it takes to get to the desired amount. We're going to do a second journey where I'm going to go as fast as I can, getting the taxi over 11 miles an hour, ensuring that it's working on distance only. Okay, to simulate the worst traffic, how long does it take for the taxi meter to go to £5? Starting now. Now, to give you some idea, time is the slowest way to increase a taxi meter. You'll actually see on the meter, onto the left-hand side near the rate 1 number, there's kind of like a little star that fills up as the meter progresses. So once that finishes, it goes around to £4.40, up by 20p. And we have to wait again. On the meter, you'll also see that there is a little clock, and that means it's in time mode. If you're under 10.8 mile an hour, I think it is, then it works exclusively on time. If you go over 10.8 mile an hour, then that time clock will disappear because it's on distance only. Right, to test my distance hypothesis, we're going to use the Euston Road, because arguably it's the fastest road in London. Here we go, start that. Go, 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 meters on. I'm above 10 mile an hour. It's like that film Speed, isn't it? You know, you can't go below a certain speed. I reckon we might be able to get £5 by the time we get out at the other end of this tunnel of the Euston Underpass. £4.60, 0.3 miles. And we're coming up to a fiver. There's £5, 0.2 miles. We're coming up to £5. How long is it going to take? There we go. That was 1 minute and 28 seconds. 48 seconds. So that's about an improvement of 30 seconds over sitting still, just by keeping the cab moving. I got to £5 30 seconds faster. Now, how long do we have to wait here to get to £10? Let's go. I think I'll have a little nap. Here we go, let's get that started. £4.20, we begin. Now, ironically, we've hit a traffic light. Obviously, unless we was on the motorway, there's not really any way of properly doing this. But this is more of a representative example of what it's like driving in town, I guess. I remember once you go past that 11 mile an hour threshold, it is distance only. Therefore, if I was on the M4 motorway, for some reason crawling along at 11 miles an hour, and one of my colleagues was doing 100 miles an hour, the meter will be going up at exactly the same rate. But my colleague doing 100 miles an hour will get to the destination faster than me, meaning that they can collect that money sooner. They have a time bonus on top of it. So that's why traffic doesn't really serve me at all. What I'm hoping to do in this video is dispel the myth that London taxi drivers love to find traffic. Because yes, that meter will eventually go to £10 if I sit here in traffic, but I'll be able to get to £10 much faster if I can actually keep the taxi moving. Boring. Have you had some particularly surprising journeys in the taxi? Be they long ones, short ones, maybe where you thought the meter turned out to be much less than expected? Do let me know in the comments down below. This is so fun. It's on £6.60. Coming up to 4 minutes now. Sometimes you have a customer who it'd be the worst of traffic, and you let them know of the circumstances. You say, look, if you wanted to walk from here, it's a 10-minute walk. Traffic, it might take 20 minutes. Some customers will say, no, I'm happy to stay in the taxi. And it then works against me because the meter goes up way slower in traffic. We have a saying where if the wheels aren't turning, you aren't earning. Gotta keep the wheels moving. And there we go, £10, 0.9 miles, 7 minutes 41. So amazingly, from £5, which took 50 seconds, it's about nearly 7 minutes longer to get the next £5. This is quite interesting. Here we go, £9.80. We're halfway around the clock now. £10. So £10 took 8 minutes 40. So quick mental maths means it's 7 minutes and 20 seconds to get from £5 to £10. Just because the rate doubles doesn't mean you do it in double time. It's quite a bit longer. Now we're going to see how long it takes us to get to £15. Be right back. So this time we've come to Chester Road on the inner circle of Regent's Park. There's actually no traffic lights on the inner circle, so I can go in a perpetual loop around the inner circle to get ourselves to £15. Okay, and I'm going to start and go. Just going to nip to the shop. Do you want anything? Cool. The inner circle of Regent's Park. Beautiful area to come and chill, nestled away from all that hustle and bustle of London life. Will I get dizzy going around in this perpetual circle? I don't know. I certainly hope not. Right, how are we getting on? £14. And remember, this is rate 1, so this is like daytime rate. This will vary ever so slightly if you go to rate 2, which is like 8 PM till 10 PM, and rate 3, which is nighttime rate, but marginally. This isn't representative of a route that I would normally do in the cab, because invariably I'm going to be stopping for a junction, I'm going to be stopping for traffic lights, but it just gives you an idea of the distance you could hypothetically cover. Results may vary. Okay, 1 mile and £8. So £8 to get to 1 mile. There we go, that's 2 laps of the inner circle. £9.40. 1.3 miles. Just realised we are screwed if a traffic warden wants to move us on. The whole example, the whole test is gone. This is the weirdest experiment ever. Like, in theory, I should just probably go to work. I guess this is providing value to the public. They understand how taxi meters work, which means they might be more likely to get in taxis. So, £14.80. We're going to come up close now. Ready? £15. There we go. 2.6 miles. Let's safely pull over. To get to £15, which was 2.6 miles, took 8 minutes and 43 seconds, which was roughly close to £10 sitting still. But this was an example where we had no stopping at all. We didn't dip down into the time only metric. It was distance only. Ooh. Ooh. There we go, £15. Took just under 16 minutes to get to £15. Okay, inner circle of Regent's Park probably isn't representative of a typical cab journey because it was uninterrupted. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go for £20, but I'm going to go from here to Charing Cross, because what I'm going to actually try and do is drive it as though someone's hailed me down like an actual taxi. So, start that now, and bosh. Let's see if I can get to Charing Cross in about £20. I think that'd be tight if I'm completely honest. The heat is always on when this happens. When people come to your cab and say, oh, how much is it from here to here? And you go, about 20 quid. And they get in and you're like, oh, what if it's like 25 quid though? Did I price it wrong? So what I'm saying is by setting this at £20, I've just proverbially shot myself in the foot. I've not surveyed the traffic conditions today. Most journeys in the taxi, I'd say probably the average journey is about £15. I think we might be able to do it. £13.60 and we're at Golden Square. So in the Regent's Park example, to get to £20, the cab didn't stop once, and that was 2.6 miles. We're currently on 1.9 miles now. So we're not too far off of that example of keeping the cab moving. This is all about just showing how I can be the most profitable. But the best thing is that the way I'm most profitable also happens to be in the passenger's best interest, because they get there quicker and they pay less. And it's why we're always opposed to, you know, complex road junctions, more waiting time at traffic lights, lower speed limits, because this all affects how quickly we can earn our money. Time is my biggest enemy as a cab driver. £1.20 separates me and this job to Charing Cross. Either I'm a genius because I picked £20 and thought, where can I get for £20 Charing Cross? Or I'm just working to that limitation of £20. £19. Come on, traffic. This is even worse because Pepper Street's shut. Everybody's got to go down Charing Cross Road, St Martin's Place. £19.60. £19.80. I don't think it's going to be done. I don't think it can be done. No, it's going to click over to £20, isn't it? Oh, £20. No. Close though. So close. £20 took 20 minutes and 23 seconds. And then to get to Charing Cross took 21 minutes. That's almost how I work it in the cab, to be honest, is that, like, if someone says, you know, how much is it going to be? I think, realistically, how long will it take for me to drive there? And it kind of is about £1 a minute. Short stuff in town, 15 minutes, £15, 20 minutes, £20. That's kind of a rough scratch pad way of working it out. We're almost there. Here we go. 7 minutes, 2 seconds. This is going to be great. And 20 quid. There we go. I am parked up right now so I can touch my phone to do this. But look, you can see lap 2 was the £15 mark and lap 3 was the £20 mark. So reliably, the £5 increments happen 7 minutes and 12 seconds between each other. So if we went to £25, it'd be another 7 minutes and 12 seconds. So total time on that, let me get this correct, was just under 25 minutes to hit £20 if you was in the worst of traffic, as in you don't move anywhere. So there we go, 4 different journeys within a London taxi showing you just how far your money will go. If you're interested to learn a little bit more about how the taxi meter works, then check out this video over here. It's called How to Bump Up the Meter and answers the age-old question of, can cabbies bump up the meter?